Three, two,
Switch
one.
it up a little bit this week. All right, so SCOTUS didn't even release anything today, did they?
No.
I didn't think so. Cocksuckers. Just whatever. So, and you have the list. Well, 15 minutes this.
Yeah.
So you have the list.
Yes.
Not that they are really cutting it. There's the Dobbs anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we're
2
coming
years.
up on. Yeah. Well, I think it's one of these where we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
8.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
But
10 yeah, some of them are going
some
to
of
be
them are
grouped together.
basically, there are two separate ones where they have
Yeah.
two. So
But I mean, it very well could be it's like a Friday afternoon news dump, just like
That's-
here you go.
yeah, like 2 o'clock Eastern.
Right.
Shit just gets dumped out there.
So I mean, I don't know.
Let's go through them.
Yeah, so the first two that are related is, and I guess it's the ones that they're expecting. It's really the ones people are kind of,
Frothing at the mouth?
yeah.
They're going to
So,
drop those first, you believe?
according to other news outlets, that's
Just
what they
drop it
see
and then,
where it's
then
yeah.
bury it with everything else?
No, I mean like these are the more high profile. So you have the ruling on whether presidents are immune from prosecution,
While in office.
or even after they've left office.
Oh, so it's total immunity,
Right.
but they're just going to say, while you're in office, you can do what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. So
That's what they'll say.
if they find in favor of our ex-president, then yes, that's what they would be saying, is that while you're president, you can do pretty
Whatever
much anything.
the fuck you want to do.
Right. And no one can ever prosecute you even after you've left office.
Correct.
Now, if they uphold that, then it's
Then everything just goes away right now.
yeah. I mean, it follows what most people believe about the Constitution, which is that even a president is not above the law. Therefore, they can't be prosecuted while in office. But once they're out, then they can be held
committed
liable.
while you're in office. Like, right. We don't want the world to watch a perp walk out of the White House.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Well, but that's in the Constitution. So elected federal representatives cannot be prosecuted while in office.
That verbiage is in the Constitution.
Yes.
So these.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So House reps, senators, Supreme Court justices, presidents, while they are
So like Matt Gaetz right now, getting all this, he can't do anything unless he loses, unless he's no longer a rep.
yeah, any of that sexual stuff, like that's
So
put
he
on
can be
hold.
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, and so
Age.
a lot of that's kind of what, and that has happened in the past. People have stayed in office to avoid stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm curious as to how, I know they're trying to bring charges against Bob Menendez, but
Oh, I forgot about him because he is an active member
right. So I think
with gold bars in his walls.
yeah.
That's some fucking no. That's some Lethal Weapon 2 villain shit. Kruger ends.
Yeah.
I've got Kruger ends in the right.
No,
There you go. His wife could be prosecuted though, correct?
exactly. Yeah. So, and it very well could be yeah, they're just building everything until either he's not reelected or he
They
has
kick
to
him
resign.
out.
Yeah, and then
Right. You can impeach.
yeah, or what they did with Santos.
Yeah.
Just
you're gone.
give
We're
him
going to
a boot.
vote on it and
Yeah.
peace out. We're not even going to worry about impeachment.
Right.
Bring articles. Let's vote. Have a nice day.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
impeachment proceedings only go for presidents, or people in the executive branch and Supreme Court
Let's
justices.
just say in SCOTUS. Or is that can't be state Supreme Court because that's different.
Yeah.
We'll get to states in a minute.
And then
Okay, so what's next?
the other one that can relate to former President Trump is, or the January 6th obstruction charges.
That's the only one, just that charge.
Any charges of obstructing anything with the
An
investigation.
official act of the government, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. I think that's how they worded it all, right?
But
Obstruction of official act of the government. Trump is the peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah. So I could say,
I mean-
I would think if you say the president doesn't have immunity, then the obstruction charges have to be held against the former president.
But I would also think that the definition of obstruction is what they were doing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, trying to I don't know, or bully or bribe witnesses to not speak negatively, so on and so forth.
Right.
But that's one where I think, those two obviously kind of go hand in hand. So
right.
if
So
the
if
president,
you go one way with this, you got to go the same way with this.
Right.
You can't go.
So if the president is immune, then while he's in office, he can tamper with witnesses and evidence and even
murder his political rivals.
Yeah, exactly.
And put them in jail.
Right.
Dude, he is literally going to build a prison and throw everybody in there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what his plan is.
I think so.
I talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on. God damn it, that's
All right.
scary.
So those are the big meaty ones. Then you have.
So wait, do they come out first? You think those are the?
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it.
Or at least I think those. based on when the hearings were held, that's the expectation.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I think they grouped them to like when arguments were presented by each side.
Yeah, because it makes sense.
They did them, in thematic presentation. So we already talked about the emergency abortion care, which is essentially saying, do states have the right to say, like, if it's anywhere in the pregnancy, if the mother's at risk of dying, that they do not have a constitutional protection to remove said embryo or zygote or whatever, and then saving the mother's life. Whereas a couple of states have said, like, under no circumstances.
Yeah, Texas did it.
Yeah.
With that woman who had to go to Colorado, I believe.
Right, but this would be like if, like, out of nowhere, like, there's this massive health issue.
Like, you have bleeding.
Yeah.
And like, we need to fix this or you're going to bleed out.
Right, and the only solution is to get rid of the fetus.
Right.
Then it would be up to if the Supreme Court sides with the states, then the state can determine that where
you mean like abortion rights now?
Yeah.
So Texas can keep what they're doing in
Right.
Alabama.
Whereas
basically the entire South.
The argument of keeping the emergency abortion in there is that you would say that kind of goes against the preamble of the Constitution, in which the government is there to protect, like, your life.
Correct.
Which is weird, as in that circumstance in those states would be the more common example would be, well, if the mother dies, so is the fetus.
That's what I was just like. They're talking out both sides of their mouth. Fuck that. This fetus is awesome. The mother, not so much.
But without one or the other, like,
she's just a meat sack carrying one of our babies.
Right, but if you let the mother die, then the fetus is going to die. I mean, we don't have Bacta tanks going on yet.
What? Jeez, that would be. Somebody get on that.
Yeah.
Fauci. Sorry. Look, there's an insurrection. I don't. So how are doctors? They're literally tying doctors' hands, even though they've taken an oath to save like the Constitution says, to save a human's life, no matter what. Ted Bundy comes in with, his leg missing, he's bleeding out. They're going to fix him.
Correct. Even when he was in prison.
Right.
That's what the prison doctors would have to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't see the government why they would.
Well, it's like that's the argument. Is like, do you uphold, like, medical oaths,
right,
or do you allow states to change medical oaths and practices,
right,
to fit their belief system?
You have an oath to save anybody but a pregnant woman.
Where I get or they're changing it to where, like, the oath is directed at the fetus, not at the mother who's carrying the fetus.
Oh fuck! It does.
I mean, well,
These
and
aren't
again,
aliens, like being born out of eggs.
We're just trying to comprehend this. I mean,
okay,
we're
not arguing the fact. Okay, fair.
We're
enough.
not legal scholars over here. I'm sure
love
there's
to be a legal
plenty
scholar.
of minutia.
Okay, so what was the other one with that?
That was it. That's the only one on. That's the last one on abortion care.
Oh right, because they've done everything.
Yeah,
else
they've already did the mifepristone ruling.
They've already just
But anyway, another one I think is going to be interesting is they're going to rule if like arresting homeless people who, like, create tent cities or are living in public spaces.
Right.
If, like, arresting them violates their 8th Amendment right, which is cruel and unusual punishment,
I get.
So, I mean, essentially is that if they say that it does, then that's a constitutional, what do we say, precedent that supports homeless people, like setting up tent cities.
And their right to try to live.
Right, exactly. And not be thrown in jail or not be put off into a camp somewhere or,
Which is
something
what
like that.
they want to do.
Yeah, so I think that one's going to be... That's going to be an interesting.
All these well, see, here's the thing: the constitutionalists, right? That's what they like. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
The whole, especially the president one, because it's
Mm-hmm.
and then the Eighth Amendment here. Okay, go ahead.
And then you have
First Amendment.
Right, with social media. So do social media companies have First Amendment rights, or can they be regulated by the states and what they can say and can't say on that? And then the other
they don't
one
have control of what is being said or not, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess they do. I mean, I guess you can kick somebody out, but is that violating First Amendment? Isn't that the other one on there?
Well, the other one is a Biden decision to police disinformation.
That's right.
So is that violating the company's First Amendment rights as well? So you
can't tell the president you want to kill him, right? Like technically, you can get arrested for that, right?
Yeah.
So that's.
Or in this, I mean,
like
putting out false news stories that have no research or background.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there are circumstances to where you can stop it.
Yeah.
And it not violate the First Amendment, right?
Yeah, I mean.
You would think
theoretically, yeah. Well, I think the way of looking at this, it's one is saying, do the states have the right to police social media companies?
No.
And then the other one is saying, does the federal government have the right to police social media companies?
No.
So that's why I like the grouping that the Times did in listing them, and that which would be is that if you say that they have the right and that states cannot police them, then theoretically the federal government can't police what they do in terms of free speech.
That's a tough one, but
right. And then
it's hard to hold a company like Twitter or TikTok, where people are just screaming into the void
like we do, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube, exactly. I scream into the void all the fucking time, every week.
And then we have whether the Sacklers can be held liable in civil prosecution.
Yes.
I think a lot of the country already has made up their mind. It'll be interesting to see.
So was it part of the settlement,
right, that
they could not be?
Yes. That they were immune from civil prosecution.
Yeah, but you.
So
I mean, I understand.
So in this case, it would be that the company was liable, but the family that ran the company is not liable. So
my kid would be liable, but me, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I think where that's going to stand on is, I would bet that they would come out and they would probably say these members of the Sackler family, like they weren't part of the company, so, but these people can be held liable, but not the entire family. So,
and there's like 5,000 of them. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And then the last three are all related to this conservative movement of trying to essentially eliminate federal agencies.